We're 6 days from the Overwatch 2 beta, and the Play Overwatch Twitter is going absolutely crazy. They've tweeted out two different things. One is the Doomfist rework that we knew was coming, and the second is the Erisa rework. So this is going to be my first reaction. Here is the Doomfist rework that they've tweeted. So as we know, Doomfist is now a tank. His health is increased to 450. The rework to his hand cannon is ammo recovery increased to once every 0.4 seconds, and damage reduced from 6 to 5 per pellet. His rocket punch has some changes. Max charge time reduced to 1 second, impact damage reduced to 15 to 30, and wall slam damage reduced to 20 to 40, which is significantly less damage. Like, his punch will do significantly less damage in Overwatch 2. Uppercut has just been completely removed. Like, just uppercut is just no longer an ability. Seismic Slam now launches you just like Winston's leap, and on landing it deals damage and slows enemies. So obviously this is very similar to Winston Leap as a whole. How much damage that will actually do, we don't necessarily know, but overall this is super interesting. His new ability is called Power Block, which protects yourself from frontal attacks. Blocking heavy damage empowers Rocket Punch. Empowered Rocket Punch travels faster, further, and deals increased damage. So essentially this is going to be a way to make your standard Doomfist punch do more damage, similar to, you know, how Sigma eats and then he gains shields, making him more sustainable, or how when Zarya bubbles herself, she does increased damage. It's kind of similar to that. Basically, you use this power block and then your punch will do more damage. Maybe once you're super powered up from this, you could do as much damage with a punch as you can in Overwatch 1. I don't necessarily know. His ultimate Meteor Strike now adds a slow to all enemies hit, and then his outer ring damage reduced on the ultimate, and activation time reduced to 0.5 seconds. Basically, overall, the character will have more slows built into his kit, which fits with the theme of Overwatch trying to go in the direction where the only characters in the game that have CC, or at least for the most part, the only characters that will have CC in Overwatch 2 will be tanks. It's kind of a general theme that they don't want basically squishy characters to have CC, so rather than remove all CC from Doomfist kit, they just kind of leaned into it and made him a tank, and this is what we have now. I'm honestly really interested in trying this character out. Like, I feel like it's gonna be night and day difference, and honestly I don't really know how to feel. The second one is the Erisa Rework. So her augmented fusion driver, which is basically her primary fire, now rapidly fires large projectiles. Projectiles start large and shrink down. It uses a heat mechanic instead of ammo reload. So basically her gun is just an entirely different thing. Like, it's hard for me to envision what this will even look like, but honestly it's super interesting. One of the more underwhelming parts of Erisa's kit, in my opinion at least, has always been her gun. Like, she just has this big clunky feeling machine gun, and so I am interested to see what this will be like. Fortified now also gains 125 temporary health. Erisa will be slowed by 20% while Fortify is active, and it reduces the heat generated from firing by 50% while active. So basically it'll be harder for her to run out of ammo. I mean, quote unquote ammo, because it's not technically ammo, it's energy. It's hard for me to even get my head around what this will even look like. 3 abilities have just been completely removed and replaced. Protective Barrier, Halt, and Supercharger gone out the window, never to be seen again. Instead, they will be replaced with her first new ability is called Energy Javelin, which basically you launch a javelin at an enemy to stun and knock them back. It's more effective if the enemy hits a wall. So I guess this will kind of look similar to Doomfist Punch, except you throw it instead of, you know, it being your body itself. And expanding upon this javelin idea, her second new regular ability is called Javelin Spin, which is you spin your javelin to destroy projectiles, push enemies, and increase forward speed. I mean, this ability here sounds like it does a lot. Like, destroying projectiles makes me think of Defense Matrix or Sigma Eat. It pushes enemies, so some sort of CC, which fits the theme of tanks having CC, and increase forward speed. So not only does this ability have utility that interacts with the other team, it also just acts as a speed boost, which is kind of interesting because Fortify is going to slow you down, but this Javelin Spin ability can speed you up. So I wonder if they kind of counteract if you have them both activated at the same time. And then her new ultimate is called Terra Surge, which is sweep in enemies and anchor down, gaining the effects of Fortify and charging up a surge of damage. Use primary fire to unleash the surge early. I mean, I'm honestly mind blown just seeing these Erisa changes, and it's impossible for me to explain explain what any of this means. But I think what these reworks show is that Overwatch 2 is clearly not just a giant balance update. There are a ton of changes in literally just these reworks alone that shows that Overwatch 2 is more a fundamental change of how Overwatch will play. And honestly, I'm just really excited to test it out next week and to finally be able to see what 5v5 Overwatch is like. Thank you guys for watching.